These videos only have 5-minute increments, so there will be a few posts. Back to where we were. Her t-shirt does say Scuba Insanity with a cartoon of a diver taking an underwater selfie with a giant squid. You dive too? He asks. Not that much anymore, she replies. My dad won't let me go in where there are sharks. He's so overprotective. I also rock climb, zip line, ski jump, bungee, and do parkour. I'll try normal things too. Roller coasters aren't that boring so long as they're really vertical. I'm also into drama. Want to be an actress when I grow up, either that or an astronaut. For Cooper, it's almost as bad as getting thrown out of the soccer game to find out how little he has in common with this girl. We just moved here 3 weeks ago, he says to keep the conversation going. My dad's a military. He's stationed at Fort Bensonhurst. Jolie points off in the distance. You can just make out the tower from here. Over there and between those two hills, our school is built on the top of the third hill, so you can see from miles around. There should be a good spot to base jump around here, but believe me, I've checked. Nothing. Cooper's shocked, but you wouldn't actually do that, right? I wish. My parents won't let me have a parachute until I'm 18. What's the point of living in three hills if you can't use the altitude? Three hills? Cooper repeats. That used to be what the town was called, before the wolf moved in. Cooper laughs. Now you've really got me confused. Who's the wolf? Somerset Wolfson, one of the richest men in America. Surely you've noticed his estate. His mansion is the biggest building in town. She walks him to the south side of the playground. See all that? Every inch of it is his. That's the house, and that's the other building in the museum. Cooper gazes out over the vast property, which seems to take up the entire south end of town. It looks like a national park with gleaming marble buildings, rolling lawns, glittering ponds, sumptuous flower beds, and handsome groves of trees. No question, this is a man with a ton of money. Why does he have his own museum? Cooper asks. He's a Shakespeare nut, Jolie explains. He has the biggest private collection in the world. That's the only reason he moved out here 30 years ago. He needed a good spot to put up a custom-made gallery for all the old books and documents and artifacts. Everything is so old that it has to go in special climate-controlled cases. Plus, he needs security. It's worth so much money, and even a billionaire can't afford to lose it. Upon closer inspection, Cooper can see that the greenery has been strategically placed to hide a heavy stone wall and a high-security gate. Mr. Wolfson must really love Shakespeare, he comments. Tell me about it. Back in the day, he refused to buy the property unless Three Hills agreed to change its name to Stratford. That was Shakespeare's hometown in England. It was hard times back when he made the offer, and the town needed the cash, so they agreed. My parents remember it. It was a huge deal for the locals. A lot of people are still ticked off at the wolf for using his money to push us around. Cooper takes his new phone out of his pocket and begins tapping the screen, searching for a camera app. He's still getting used to this practically countless functions. Jolie's impressed. Wow, is that the GX4000? I've heard about them, but I've never seen one. It's the latest bribe, he tells her. Every time we have to move, my parents get my sister and me something great to make up for it. He frames a panoramic shot of the mansion and museum. Something to send my friends back in Colorado. As he reaches to take a picture, the image on the screen dissolves into a multicolored snow. There's an angry tone and the phone powers itself off. Oops, Cooper says, embarrassed. I'm new at this. I must have zigged when I should have zagged. My phone is kind of buggy too, Jolie says sympathetically. Of course, that might be from the time it fell out of my pocket on top of the rock climbing wall, but it works sometimes. Mine's brand new, so it should work all the time. The GX4000 powers up again with a series of beeps and an odd whistling that sounds like nothing Cooper's ever heard coming from an electronic device. He points the lens at the top of the Wilson property. Wait, Jolie leans into the frame, beaming and holding up two V for victory signs. Okay, she's blocking the museum and at least half of the mansion, but who cares about that? For a picture of Stratford to send the old neighborhood, this is perfect. Maybe the guys will think she's his girlfriend. What do they know? They're in Colorado. He takes the shot. A faint blue spark jumps from the screen to his finger. Ow! The phone drops from his hand onto the grass. Wow, Jolie comments, your phone really is buggier than mine. Cooper stoops to pick it up. No problem, it's all in one piece. Now, this time, if you stand a little to the left, he's interrupted by the school bell. Gotta go. See you in class. She joins the stampede for the building. Cooper hangs back, scrolling through the pages of unfamiliar apps in search of the photo library. One entry, it says, well, what do you know, he thinks. This overpriced, overcomplicated gizmo actually took a real picture. He taps the icon and examines it. There are other two hills in the distance and sprawling Wolfson Place in front of them. And there's Jolie, her outline anyway. You can see her arms in the two V for victory signs, but the rest of her is hidden behind a silver gray shimmer of distortion right in the middle of the photograph. Might as well be a picture of Godzilla if Godzilla had fingers. And pause.